Hello,
Yep.
everyone. Welcome, everyone. I've already had a chat to everyone who's here live. Got a bit of a crew happening today, so that's nice.
Great.
And if you're watching the recording, I will reintroduce what we're doing today. And you may or may not want a chair. That's entirely up to you. So if you want to grab a chair, if you haven't got one, go grab one. If you're on the recording, you might want to press pause and go and grab a chair if you want one. Okay, so being here live today, where are we? It's a 4 o'clock class, 4 p.m. class. Normally we do our Zoom classes in the AM, so the start of the day, and it's a completely different energy at the start of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to be really aware of what your day has looked like, where you're at now with your nervous system, because we're going to make this our little transition between our day, so all of our doing, and then our evening, which is, obviously our time to wind down. And when we look at Ayurveda, that's from 6 till 10 is our wind down time. But we don't want to go from, well, you can't go from busy, 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 busy. Okay, I'm just going to sit on the couch, because you know what happens? You sit on the couch and then your energy just tanks.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't necessarily wind your nervous system down. And then we go to bed and we're all wired and tired and wired, whatever it is. And our mind's just still going and our body's exhausted. So this period between the two is really, really important, that little transition. So that's what we're going to do today. Does anybody have issues like with this time settling down? Do you find it really difficult to slow down and then all of a sudden get on the couch at whatever time? Sal's shaking her head. No, I just, yeah. Okay,
I've
cool.
been having trouble, Jody. Not trouble because it doesn't worry me, but I wake up a number of times during the night. But I get up, I might have a cup of tea, I might watch SBS movie because they're really lovely, or I might write down some ideas that I've got. Then I go back to bed and I sleep fine. Then I might wake up a few hours later. So I think that what you're saying is happening to me. I think that I'm just go. Then I pop on the couch, maybe I watch telly, and I fall asleep, and I wake up thinking I must go to bed now. But the mind wakes me up a couple of times through the night. I don't toss and turn. When I sleep, I'm really sleep well. I'll just wake up and want to be doing something.
Yeah. And that's really common. It's very common. Because we don't really consciously make that transition. Anyone else want to say anything before I? No. Okay. So that used to be me, Jackie. I used to be go all the way to bed. And then wonder why I couldn't sleep. Even though I was so exhausted. Or you would fall asleep and then wake up in the morning and you feel like you haven't had any sleep. You wake up exhausted. So I think it's really important to, make that time to wind down the nervous system.
Looking forward to learning how to do that.
It's a good idea.
Okay. And I think it's just been good timing for today, as far as, especially a Sunday too. Sunday afternoon, we're finishing the weekend and preparing for the week ahead, especially if you're working still. It can be quite hectic to transition. And weekend Sundays were meant to be for rest, and that is gone, unfortunately. I'm a big advocate for bringing back Sunday, soulful Sundays. Definitely.
Close the shops, no sport.
Our busy life really does get in the way, and our expectations to be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know what I'm talking about, me. Is
I do.
very high. So yeah, so let's have a little play today, and we'll start by checking in with ourselves and see what's happening. So before you get yourself on your mat, just press mute if you can, and that just saves the camera flitting around. Yep, beautiful. Okay. I'll have to have my phone close because I forgot to bring the clock in. So yeah, so I'm not on my phone. Are you right, Pammy? It's just unmuted again on my end. Yep, there you go. Awesome. All righty, I'm going to move. And as I said, have your chair handy if you want it. Grab something to sit on. All right, so whether you're sitting on a chair or a bolster or some blankets or whatever it is, your mat, just make sure that you are comfortable in your body. And if that means sitting in a chair, then that's what it means, okay? Because end of the day, you may be a little tired physically or stiff, especially weekends. We can tend to, you know, be out in the garden all day or painting all day. That's been my thing, mowed the grass, painted. So you probably will see some paint on me when I put my arms up. So my body's reflecting that, okay? So make sure that you're not uncomfortable in your body, however you're going to sit, okay? And then once you got yourself comfy, just close down your eyes if you're comfortable with that. Otherwise, just a soft gaze. You're not going to need to see me for a moment. And I'd like you to take a few nice big inhales and sigh it out. Make some noise. We can't hear you, or I can't hear you. You're on mute, so do whatever you need to do. Maybe you'll live in a lion's breath if you need to really get rid of the day. And notice when you do that physiological sigh, feel how your body responds. And then it's in this moment that we start to feel that transition. So feel into your body, into the sensations of the body. What's it trying to tell you in this moment? And you know what you've been doing for the day. How is that reflecting in your physical body? So, you know, you may not have been doing anything physical, but even mental exhaustion can be physically draining. So just take notice of how your body has responded to your day. And of course, when I say body, I mean your physical body, your mind, your energy body, your emotions, everything's reflected here and we feel it physically. And then can you acknowledge that for the next hour or so is a time where you can shift that energy a little bit. transform it. So we can move it through our body. Any excess energy that we have, any stagnation through the body somewhere, we can move that through and clear that out of the day's energy, clear it out, so that we're then prepared to go into our evening with a bit of a clean slate. So knowing that we're doing that, feel where you come in contact with your mat or your chair, the surface that you're on. Feel maybe the feet on the floor or your bottom on the mat cushion. Notice how heavy your body feels, how the contact between your body and the surface feels. And yeah, you may feel really heavy, especially if you're feeling tired, or you've worked really hard and you're ready to stop. And we can be like that, but our mind can be still whirling and the energy can be still, it's like we need to kind of run away at the same time. We're exhausted, but we feel like we need to run away or fight. And notice the room that you're in. What does it feel like? Is it quiet? Does it have a nice energy to it for this time of the afternoon? Know that, we're going to, yes, transform our own energy, but you'll probably notice the energy in the room change as you change. Come back to your breath now and just notice the breath in the nostrils. And do you feel when you bring your awareness there that you need a nice big breath, or maybe your breath changed in some way just from bringing awareness to it? I invite you to start to deepen your breath a little. Feel your belly and your chest expand a little maybe. Get a little bit of rhythm going in your breath, smoothing out the inhales and the exhales. When we're busy and concentrating on other things and lots of doing, we tend to forget about our breath. Thankfully, we don't have to remember to breathe. Well, sometimes we do have to remember to breathe, but we don't have to think about take a breath in, take a breath out, etc. all day. But we can, when we're busy, just breathe quite shallow up in the chest and not get that breath all the way down into the bottom part of the lungs, which is where the belly expands, and because the diaphragm moves down further in toward the abdominal cavity. So maybe it feels nice to take a deeper breath. Just notice for you what that feels like. Sometimes when we've been so busy and we do take a deeper breath, you can hear your body saying, oh, thank goodness. That feels so good. So I invite you to do that. Keep breathing a little deeper, a little longer, a little smoother. You may just be noticing it in the chest and the belly. You might be noticing it in the upper back. Because, we don't just breathe forward, out, we breathe in all directions. So invite the breath in all directions. Sorry about those birds, they're a bit noisy out there. You feel your lungs expanding in all directions. Now I invite you, as you breathe in, to breathe in this fresh energy, fresh prana. And with each exhale, just letting go of your day, letting go of any stale energy. You may feel like you want to use the exhale through the mouth. Feel free to do that if you want to do that. We're breathing in fresh prana. We're breathing out the day. And when we let go of the day, we make space for fresh prana to move in, this newer energy. You might like to thank your body, your mind for everything that you've achieved today, helping you move through the day and achieve everything you've had to achieve today. And now it's time to let that go. And then when you're ready, just let your chin drop down towards your chest. Just feeling into the muscles around the back of the neck, the back of the shoulders. And then just take your head from side to side slightly with your chin dropped. So kind of making some little circles or half circles with your head from side to side. I'm just looking for areas that might be a little tight or tense or tired. And then picking your head up when you feel ready and roll your shoulders up and back, feeling into the shoulders and the upper back. Acknowledging how your body's feeling as we move through. And it may, some of this tightness or tiredness may equate to something that you've done throughout the day. So acknowledge that too. And then bring your shoulders to stillness and twirl your wrists. Our hands do so much for us. Our arms do so much for us. You can get quite tired, sore, depending on what we're doing. Everybody's wrists clicking while you're going around here. Yeah, maybe wiggle your fingers or something if you feel like you need to do that as well. Yeah, nice fun on shaking it out, flicking it off, flicking that energy off. Beautiful. All right, and then maybe reach your arms up if you can, if your shoulders are okay to do that. And just have a nice reach, one and then the other. If you can't reach your arm, if that's not great for your shoulders, just go from side to side a little, and as if you're reaching and stretching up under your armpits a little. Just feel into that area up under your armpits, and the sides of the ribs can be really quite tight and tired as well. We don't think about our rib cage getting tired under there, but it happens. Okay. Just acknowledging, moving through. And then bring your arms down. Bring them forward this time. And just like we were moving up and down, move forward. So taking it in turns. I think you'll be like, you can see me. I'll turn sideways just to give you another view, but you're getting a nice little twist in the upper body. Feel that. That can feel really nice. Feel some strange little gristly things going on there. Okay. All right. Nice. Okay, bring your hands down to your knees. You may want to roll the shoulders a little just to finish off that. And just before we move even any more, just notice any changes in the energy body. Cells starting to come down. She can't stop yawning. Nice. All right. And then as you're seated, you can do this cross-legged. If you're seated in a chair, it's very easy to do it in a chair too. All right, cat-cow, seated. So hands are on your knees, and I want you to try and keep your arms straight. Okay, so when you inhale, we're tilting the pelvis forward, we're pressing the chest forward, and we're arching the back. Think about the heart space moving forward. And then with the exhale, the heart space moves back toward the wall behind you. Our pelvis naturally tilts back, and you might like to drop your chin a little. And then just keep going really slowly, moving the spine in that direction. We're getting a little bit more toward in the middle of the torso here. Notice how your mid spine feels, how your heart space feels. We can get really tight in the chest. We don't think about that. Opening up. And of course, even though we're focusing on the middle part of the torso, there's a lot going on around the pelvis. You may feel that already. Okay. And when you feel ready, come back to center. Take a little moment here. Nice. And then we're going to twist, take a little twist to the right. So remember, you know, even though your body probably will be reasonably warm because we're at the end of the day. You don't want to be dragging yourself around into a twist, okay? Be nice and gentle. So the left hand on the right knee, right hand behind you. Press down through your sit bones, and on the exhale, just gently turn your body around to the right and feel that bit of a spiral up through your spine. All those little muscles between each of the ribs, all the way up through the spine, getting a nice squeeze. Some will be contracting, some will be stretching. And then turn your head to look over your left shoulder and then back toward the right. And just do that really slowly a few times just to get into the neck and just notice what's going on there. And then when you're ready, come back to center. Check in, it'll probably feel a bit odd. And then we're going to change sides. So right hand, left knee, left hand behind. Inhale, press down through your sit bones, lift up nice and tall, and then the exhale turns you. So remember, we're not really, yanking ourselves around. Let the muscles of the body move you. Moving that tension, the stagnant energy out of the spine, out of the muscles surrounding the spine and the ribs. And then when you feel ready, the head, moving forward and back. Roll shoulders and just take a moment to check in. Okay, so you'll notice that energy transforming down the body as we start to move each part of the body. Take your hands either side of your right knee and just kind of walk forward just a little. So it's not about how low we can get here. Okay, so we just want this little tiny twist and the opening in the left side of the hip here and the left side of the low back. And then with your hands reasonably wide, just have a little sway from side to side. Just playing with that movement in the low back, if that feels okay with you. You can come all the way up and do that if you like, or you can be a little lower. It'll just depend on your range of movement, how your hips feel, how your back feels. You're just swaying from side to side as we look over our right leg. And then walk your hands around over the left leg. Anybody having any chiropractic adjustments happening? Had a few little cells and just came up out of nowhere. So it's really nice, I think, to make this transition between doing to, being still, we don't want to just be still. Yeah, we've got to keep moving this energy through rather than trying to force stillness upon ourselves. So bring yourself back to center now and then walk your way up. That's it. And take the legs out, have a little shake if you like, whatever you need to do there. Bounce. Maybe twirl your ankles. How are we feeling? Okay. Yeah, good. All right. So bring your feet together into Baddha or butterfly pose or cobbler pose, or depending on your circles. So feet together, knees apart, and just have a little bounce. A nice little bounce. Remember, there's not many poses where we bounce in yoga, but this one is allowed. Feeling into the groin area, into the hip joint. And your feet, you don't have to get as close to your body as you can. They can be wherever is comfortable. Okay, come to stillness. Notice how that feels. Feel that resonance. Oh my God, I love doing that. It's so good. And just because we can, because we're in this position, give the soles of the feet a little bit of a rub. Squeeze or whatever your little feeties are craving. Not to get too technical. Feels good. If you're tempted to go around the Achilles and the ankles and up the calf muscles, feel free. Yeah. Just sharing what's in my head. Okay. All right. When you're ready, pick them up. Now, I'd like you to come off your prop, your blanket, or whatever that may be, because of the move that we're going to do next is much easier when we're on the floor. So you could, if you are doing all of this on the seat, you can modify to do it seated in a chair, but this is what we're going to do. So you'll need to be leaning back a little. That's why I asked you to get off your mat, and then take your feet reasonably wide, and you're going to just sway from side to side, nice and slow. Okay, so when your, for instance, right knee moves down to the floor, it's not going to move down to the floor unless you pick your bottom up, your right butt cheek up off the floor. Okay, so that's where we're going. Lifting up and over. Oh, I've got a cramp. If that is too much, just feel free just to go a little, whatever works. But we're getting right into the hip joints here. And this internal rotation, which is when we're picking up in this position, left glute, pushing it forward, feels really good. We don't get into that position very often. take your time. Does that feel all right for everyone? Yeah, good. Okay. Come over onto your hands and knees and come into child's pose or Eastern breath. Okay. So the hands are, further forward of the shoulders. Your knees, up to you. You can have them in line with your hips, or you can have them wide, whatever feels right for you today. Remember, it's your class. Sink your bottom back. Have a nice big stretch along the spine, along the sides of the torso, the sides of the waist. Maybe a few sighs if they just naturally come like that did for me. Yeah. And then walk your hands around to the right. Open up the left side of the body. Even with your breath. So you'll notice we're getting into all parts of the body. We're trying to, at least. Just get the energy moving through the fascia, through the whole body. Come up and over to the left. So yes, the fascia is below the skin, nice and close underneath the skin, just like the fascia underneath the chicken skin that we always refer back to. But remembering it's surrounding all the muscles, it's surrounding or bundling up muscle fibers. It's all the way through the organ system. It's all the way down into the cells, deep into the cells. The fascial system encompasses the whole body. So when we're moving the whole body in this way, we're trying to get into the fascial system, come back to the center. You can do that in stillness, like with long held poses, such as yin poses. But personally, I think that it's probably more beneficial to just move nice and slow with big stretches as we move. Nice big breath. So now we're back at center. And I'd like you to come up into a dog. So if you need to come onto your chair and have your chair at the end, that's okay. We're not going to stay long, but just inhaling, coming up, spread your fingers, tuck your toes, lift up and back, and just walk your feet out. So you can do this in dog on the floor, or you can do it, I should have had my chair at the end, I'll show you this, or you can do chair dog, okay? Whatever works for your wrist. We're opening up the back of the legs, the feet. There's no right or wrong, chair or no chair, doesn't matter. And then if you need to have a rest, either stand in mountain pose or come back down into a child's pose and just turn your palms up. You could do a standing forward fold with your forehead on the chair if you like, just in between. Okay, come back up, back into dog. This time you're going to just wag your tail from side to side. Again, you might have your hands on the mat, on the floor. You might be on your chair. You wagging your tail nice and slowly from side to side, opening up the different areas in the body. And then if you are on the floor, walk your way into mountain pose. If you're on the chair, just very slowly bring yourself forward and come into mountain pose. You might like to roll your shoulders. And just standing in mountain pose. Notice how you're feeling. So your downward facing dog then, it's pretty much, it's been, you know, the most active thing you've done in this class so far. Hasn't been overly strenuous, if you like, but notice how you've moved the energy through the body. You must have read my mind there, May. That's exactly where we're going. Oh gosh. I love how you guys can read my mind. All right, take your feet a little wider. That's it. And we're going to swing the arms. So just make sure you're not going to hit anything and crash your fingers, but swinging your arms around. Let the arms, let the gravity take your arms. So your arms will feel nice and long. And move your feet accordingly. If you need to lift your heels up, lift your heels up, protect your knees, protect your low back. Getting that energy. While we're doing this, feel the energy up through the spine. Can you feel that? Maybe you just imagine your spine freeing up. As your arms get longer and longer, can you reach your crown toward the ceiling? Ah. And then slowly, slowly winding that down. Slow it down. Take your time. Really bringing yourself back to stillness. And once you get there, feel the resonance of that. Oh my goodness. Gosh. Yeah, I can see you nodding. So, all right, turn your toes in slightly. So it's not a big wide stance. You can see I'm a little bit wider than hip distance, but toes are pointing in just slightly. Pop your hands on your hip. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see this properly. And then you're just going to start to fold forward. Now we're not rounding the spine, okay? We're folding at the hip crease, belly's in toward the spine. And then once you get horizontal, hang out there. Maybe your knees are bent a little, that's okay. And just feel the back of the legs open at the same time as your legs are strengthening, your core's holding you nice and tight. I'm just being here in this still pose that requires just a little bit of strength and a little bit of openness in the back of the legs. Okay, when you inhale, press into your feet, bend your knees slightly, belly into the spine and push your way up. Hang out there for a minute. if your arms allow you to, lift them up. And then we're going to do that again, but instead don't bring your arms forward, way too much pressure on the low back. Take them sideways. And then they hold themselves out here, horizontal. Turn sideways so you can see my arms. Yep, like that. Oh, too far. That's it. Reach out through your crown, through your spine. And then come into a nice slow forward fold. Nice and slow. Bring your hands down to meet your legs. Maybe your head drops. And on there. Yep. And just, can you hang out there? Do you feel okay there? Feel your breath moving up through your spine and out through your crown as you inhale. And as you exhale, just release that energy down into the earth. Again, to bring yourself up, plant down through your feet, bend your knees slightly, belly in, and lift your way all the way up. Bring the arms all the way up to the sky. Palms together. Don't chop them off. Palms together. And maybe you look up as you reach your fingers to the ceiling. And feel the body stretching. Bring back down. You might want to roll your shoulders once you get there. Tune in. Nice. Okay, right foot, turn that around to 90 degrees. Take your left foot back a little. Yeah. So just a nice, easy warrior two. You can keep your hands down just to conserve some energy. We're just getting into the hips here, into the front of the pelvis. Okay, so just nice and easy. That's all we're doing, just getting into the front of the pelvis. Can you take or direct your breath down there? Pressing into the floor. Feeling the energy around the groin area, maybe the inner thighs. Okay, let's swap sides. Push back up. Open into the right hip a little more. Just a nice, easy lunge. Stretching out some of that tension in the groin. Not about how far you can go. Not about today, it's not about lifting the arms and being nice and long. About the energy around the pelvis. Now, heel toe your feet together. Take a moment in mountain pose. Notice what you notice. Okay, we're going to do a really easy warrior one. Okay, so if you're not at the top of your mat, come to the top of your mat. and step back with your right foot. Nothing too dramatic. Nothing too dramatic. Heel goes down and we just bend the front knee. Okay, that's it. Really slowly, I want you to lift the arms. Really slowly. Almost zombie-like. Enjoy that. Take another inhale and reach them up. And then exhale and cactus your arms. Open the chest. Hold it there. Can you clasp your hands now? Keep bringing them around. Clasp your hands, reach them down behind you. Squeeze your shoulder blades. And then slowly step forward. So let go. Lean forward. Bring that foot in. No. Feel the dog. Left foot back. So yes, even though we're doing standing poses, it's really just to help clear that energy out of the legs, okay? But we're not trying to do it, you know, the strongest or deepest pose possible. We're not moving through fast. Okay, really slowly, zombie arms, bring them up. Another inhale, reach. And then exhale, cactus. Hold that there. Open the chest. Clasp your hands. Moving nice and slow. Squeeze those shoulder blades. It's like you're wringing out a cloth or a sponge or something, squeezing, squeezing, squeezing the shoulder blades, the muscles in the upper back. And slowly let them go. Now, very slowly move forward. And then come into a nice little forward fold. Bend the knee. And if you feel okay going all the way down, feel free to start to roll all the way down. If you need a chair, you can always do a nice restorative forward fold with your chair. And you let your head hang. Okay, roll your way back up and we're going to make our way to the floor. So have your bolster handy. We've been playing way too long, people. Have your bolster handy, but I don't want you to jump into Savasana just yet. So lay down on your back. Take a moment in constructive rest. knees are bent, the feet are on the floor. And just let your body settle into this position. And notice how your body feels now. Notice how it's responded to all of the things that you've done. You've moved really, first of all, very gently to get that energy moving through the body. And then with some stronger poses, but done very, very slowly. Just mute yourself again, Don, if you can. Thanks. So we're in constructed rest. Okay. And now feel where your body's contacting the mat. Notice, is there anywhere else in the body that needs a little bit of clearing out? You may feel like you want to do a couple of little sways from side to side or a hug of the knees. Or if you're ready for Savasana, grab your bolster and pop it under your knees. So either or, doesn't matter. But just if you feel there's a little bit of stagnation still happening somewhere in the body, take any movement that you want to take and then pop yourself into Savasana. Might like to cover up. So once you are in Savasana, I don't want you to hurry, but once you are in Savasana, again, we've let go of the day. Can we now let go of the practice? Give yourself some gratitude for practicing yoga, for bringing yourself to the mat, and for moving in a way that moves that energy through the body, that clears any stagnation. We've let go of the energy of the day and made space for this pressure, if you like, prana. How does that feel? Come closer now. So we know, it's not the end of the day. We've still got a little bit to do. But now's the time, to start to be able to settle into the kaphic energy, the kapha energy of, this time of the day. And if there's things that you ran out of time to achieve or you didn't quite get there, it's going to be there tomorrow. You don't have to keep going, and then, fall in a hole. You've done what you could today. Tomorrow's another day. Enjoying this time here now in stillness, in Savasana. You may feel a little, like a little buzz in your body from the fresh prana running into all of your cells. Hydrated the fascia. You may feel that as refreshed energy. Because you've released the tension in your physical body, in your mind, you are now more able to settle into rest as you prepare yourself over the next few hours, as you prepare yourself for sleep. It's a really important time of the day, this preparation for sleep. Sleep itself is so important, and learning good sleep hygiene and good sleep habits, so that when we are asleep, we get the rest and repair that we're meant to get during those hours of sleep, so that we can wake up refreshed and ready to go and do it all again the next day. Does it feel like to have let go of the day's energy and to have this revitalized energy, if you like, that's more restful? So, rather than filling our body with fresh prana like a morning class and then using that energy to drive you into your day, to help you into your day and to keep going and keep going. This fresh prana is there to help you rest, to soothe you towards sleep. I invite you to stay in Savasana a little longer if you have the time to do that before you step into the next part of your evening. But if you're ready to come out, just really slowly roll yourself over to your preferred side, just following the guidance from your body, rolling onto your side. Out on your side. Slowly, slowly making your way up. If you can keep your eyes closed, great. If you feel like you need to open them, just have a really soft gaze. We're going to do some pranayama and meditation rather than go straight from savasana to trying to cook dinner or whatever's next on the agenda. But if you want to stay in savasana for this, please feel free to do that. Taking your time, making your way to a comfortable seat again, and then just check in. What's changed? What feels different? Tunes happening. Okay. We're going to do some resonance breathing now. So remembering that's a breath in for 5 seconds and a breath out for 5 seconds. There's no hold. But I want us first of all just to get back into the breath. Okay, so just feel into your natural rhythm first. Don't worry about a count or anything just yet, just feeling in. Probably feels a little different to when you first sat down and acknowledged your breath this afternoon. And then when you're ready, add a little count to your breath. So resonance breathing, breathing in for 5 seconds and out for 5 seconds. So I'll just get you going. So when you're ready, we're going to inhale together. So take an exhale. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep going. Inhaling for 5 and exhaling for 5. It may feel a little different to your normal rhythm. Just keep going. It's not about how long you can breathe, exhale for, or inhale for, how long you can hold the breath. The goal is to inhale for 5 seconds and exhale for 5 seconds. And this resonance breathing, in case you weren't aware, is the breath that entrains us to the pulse of the earth. Breathe like this, in this way, and we're entrained to the earth and the pulse of the earth. It brings our nervous system into balance. It balances our blood pressure, our heart rate variability. There's many rhythms in our body that resonate with this resonance breathing. In for 5, out for 5. And then when you're ready, can you inhale the breath up through the spine and into the brain, and then back down through the spine to the tail. Inhaling for 5 all the way up through the spinal cord, into the brain, and exhaling all the way down. Just getting that little visual of the breath moving up into the brain and moving back down. When we breathe in this way, with our resonance breathing and the visualization up and down the spine, it's said that it affects or tunes us into the pulse of our cerebrospinal fluid. Notice whatever you notice while you're doing this. You may feel subtle little changes in the way your spine feels, the way your brain feels, your energy body, your nervous system state. I invite you to let go of the count, but keep the visual, moving up and down the spine, in and out of the brain. Allow your awareness to just sit with the natural breath and the sensations of your body. Noticing what's happening for you now. Bring your awareness back to where you come in contact with the surfaces beneath you, maybe your blanket now that you have over you. Maybe the contact, how you're sitting, how the weight's distributed might be different now. Maybe you're feeling a little lighter in your seat. Get a sense of the room that you're in and the energy that's surrounding you. And if your eyes are still closed, just gently opening them and taking in your surroundings, bringing the light back in to your eyes. Placing your hands on your heart space in Anjali Mudra, or just laying them over your heart space, whatever feels right for you tonight. And again, just giving yourself some gratitude for giving this time for yourself, for transforming your energy, for preparing yourself for your evening and for a beautiful, well-rested sleep. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining me live. I'm just going to get rid of the recording. Thanks if you did the replay. I hope you enjoyed it.